Twinkle Sora TV.
In the heart of a humble village, Karen's awkward steps in oversized wooden clogs echo her family's struggles. From the doorway of their worn home, her mother's loving gaze follows, a bittersweet smile gracing her lips. The scene unfolds as a poignant tableau of poverty interwoven with deep, unspoken affection. The mother's eyes reflect a mixture of sadness and pride as she watches Karen's determined efforts. On a village road, Karen discovers a box, her eyes widening at the sight of shiny red shoes. The allure of the shoes captivates her as she stares transfixed at their radiant color. Her mother watches from nearby, concern etched on her face as she observes Karen's fascination. With a gentle tone, Mother cautions, "These might belong to someone else, Karen. You should take them back." Karen's resolve hardens, her voice firm as she replies, "No." The air inside Karen's house is thick with the lingering echoes of sorrow. Against her solemn vow, Karen's hand trembles as she reaches for the forbidden red shoes. The vibrant color of the shoes clashes starkly against the muted tones of mourning. A silent transgression unfolds as Karen slips her feet into the scarlet footwear. The red shoes gleam, a defiant spark in the heavy silence. Black umbrellas create a stark contrast against the gray sky, casting long shadows across the cemetery. A splash of vibrant color pierces the somber scene as Karen's red shoes catch the light. The wealthy old woman's face tells a story of time and experience, her gaze fixed on Karen. The wealthy old woman observes Karen, her expression a mix of curiosity and pity. The handsome young lord isolates himself from the crowd, his eyes drawn to the vibrant figure. A spark of undeniable interest flickers in the handsome young lord's eyes as he watches Karen. Sunlight floods the grand house, illuminating the scene as, later, during a shopping trip, amidst her lavish acquisitions, Karen declares, "I need another pair of red shoes. The ones I have don't match anything." The old woman, frail yet dignified, replies wearily, "Karen, darling, you have dozens of red shoes, more than anyone could possibly need." Karen retorts sharply, "That's not the point. I deserve them. You can afford it." In a moment of raw emotion, Karen explodes. "Grateful? For this old house and your nagging? I'm the one who should be thanked for putting up with you." Mournful faces fill the cemetery. Karen stands among them, hiding a secret beneath her dark dress. A sudden gust of wind betrays Karen. Gasps erupt from the crowd as a flash of red becomes visible. The young lord approaches his face an inscrutable mask as he observes Karen. Defying the somber scene, the young lord extends an invitation. "I invite you to a dance at the palace." Under the cloak of night, Karen dances with frantic abandon, her red shoes dictating every move. Days melt into a dizzying sequence of involuntary steps, marked by agony etched onto her face. Her feet, once instruments of grace, are now marred by open blisters and raw wounds, each step a fresh torment. Driven to her limit, Karen cries out in desperation, "Enough! I won't be stubborn anymore, I promise." Her plea echoes through the wilderness, a desperate promise hanging in the air. The red shoes continue to compel her movements, ignoring her desperate promise. Sunlight paints the forest clearing as Snow White ministers to a wounded bird. Her touch, light as a feather, speaks of boundless compassion. A figure emerges from the shadows. The huntsman, his face a mask of inner turmoil. His gaze darts nervously, caught between duty and a burgeoning sense of dread. With heavy heart, the huntsman warns, "You must flee, child. Run far away and never return. The queen, she seeks your life." Sunlight bathes the cozy dwarf's cottage, illuminating the silent dance of dust motes in the air. Pale and breathless, Snow White stumbles into the humble dwelling, her strength failing. She collapses onto one of the tiny beds, her breath a ragged whisper in the quiet room. Whistling and singing herald the return of the seven dwarves, their cheerful sounds growing ever louder. The joyous song abruptly ceases as the dwarves enter, their eyes widening in stunned surprise at the sight of Snow White asleep on the bed. Gathered around her, their rough faces soften with a mixture of astonishment and tender concern, captivated by her delicate beauty. Before the quaint cottage, the evil queen, masked by wrinkles, extends a gnarled hand. She offers a glistening apple to Snow White, her face contorted in a false smile. Snow White, eyes wide with trust, reaches out to accept the deceptive gift. Ignoring the dwarves' warning, Snow White bites into the apple. Her eyes flutter, and she collapses into a death-like sleep. Beside the tranquil riverbank, the dwarves, their faces burdened with grief, tenderly set Snow White's glass coffin adrift. The coffin glides along the serene river, bearing its precious cargo into the unknown. Guided by a shimmering fairy, Prince Antoine arrives at the riverbank, his gaze fixated on the floating coffin. With trembling hands, Prince Antoine retrieves the coffin and places a magical stardust necklace around Snow White's neck. Before the king, Prince Antoine and Snow White reveal the evil queen's deceit, their words heavy with truth. Karen watches her expression a mix of shame and regret as the evil queen's reign crumbles. Time unfolds, and Karen finds happiness in marriage, her past mistakes now a distant memory. Prince Antoine and Snow White stand radiant, their love a beacon of hope as they exchange vows. Amidst the joyous celebration, the seven dwarves stand as honored guests, adding a touch of whimsy to the grand ceremony.